Hey, I need to do intro, but I don't know how. Así que. Look there. It's an intro with addition and Kratos and things. Kratos is not an angel, and the characteristic violence of Kratos is everywhere in this place. He's crashing and fighting people to the death like usual. That identity of violence is a core apart from the saga, but the gameplay itself feels a little of a combination of the games of this era with the old formula. Use your godlike powers in combination of rolls and attack, use a parry, or block, you know what I mean? However, feels a little unrealistic when you fight with a man that is a god. You take knockback of creatures around your size, but eventually more weak. It's a little change of gameplay philosophy that I personally don't like that much, but the mechanics and the progression related to the weapons create this really fun decision maker when you are leveling up. You can make your own style of play the form you like the most. Upgrade the fist combat to increase the stun bar of enemies in combination with the blue arrows of Atreus to be a cruel, brutal fight destroying monsters and opening in half to create areas of effect. You can orient it to weapon combat to a constantly melee pressure attack to increase the stats effects of the weaponry. You can play more safe in the distance using throws in combination with the special abilities of the weapon to gain space. And when the game advances, you can combine everything together to destroy the amount of enemies around in a blink. Look, I played the high difficulty and at the end I almost solo combo someone 2 levels above me. But sometimes that level is more important than numbers, and I hate the level system. I don't understand why we still use level-based progression, especially when the original don't have level-based progression and work just fine. When you fight an enemy and the enemy kills you, it's fine. If you don't fight well, it is a threat. It's a fair fight, you take the chance to kill something more powerful than you or equally powerful than you. But in this case, it's similar to The Witcher 3. With that skull in the hellbar, receive a hit of one enemy with a purple bar is an insta-kill.
There are no rules, man. We're lost.
No.
And I am sure that in this game they don't kill you because of their stats. They kill you because they have more level than you. And that's just unfair. For example, in the second try to this combat, I keep my new weapons and upgrade a little the equipment. Don't increase a lot my stats, but I level up. If with the level up, these creatures are just not a problem. And I think this is a big failure in the design philosophy. The idea in paper is good. It's really good. You increase your level based on your equipment, not the other way around, that's good. But if you use your equipment and stats gains, you need to use the amount of special abilities you learn and the abilities I learn up in combos or in the branch tree. Not only the equipment, because the numbers don't match. That creator killed me because the designer decided that level up is a number more important than ability or skill set. And that's not a really good form design in my opinion. Despite that, this strange creature between hack and slash and Soulborn is really enjoyable. Most of the time. Yes, I need to be careful of projectiles especially.
Hello, motherfucker.
Because one let me in 0 life and that's just crazy. It's a little unfair because the problem is when the projectile or the shooter are out of vision and shut down the distant enemies with Atreus or axe to maintain your life is not the best tool you have. But the feeling is circumstantial. Yes, it's a little repetitive over time for the little amount of enemies. Still, the constant pressure, the tense, the necessity to be aware of the threats around you, poof. When you pass that combat that costs you a lot of tries, you feel just fantastic. And last, you have this situation with Atreus. They can be leveled up, improve and grow in the role of support. Maybe it's just me, but with the improvement of his gear and abilities, you make the combat really enjoyable and he is really helpful. It's not only that.
Actually, come look. Let me show you how to read this.
That is not
You've
necessary.
taught me so much. Let me teach you something.
Feels like it's a key for the more difficult combats. It's that feel that is a key. You're a kid, and despite your violent attitude and fight, you are aware of that. Atreus makes you self-conscious of your anger and your problems. That key reveals a Kratos that tried to be a father and redeem himself for that angry and vengeful path of the past. Kratos is trying to be more than his emotions.
You left me here! Again!
But we already know that being a father is not his forte. When I see that man sitting in the boat talking to Atreus without really knowing who to interact with him, I feel as someone trying to be a person. But he doesn't know who to teach that, who to be open, how to stop being a Spartan and a god. Every time you find something new when you're exploring, for example, when you turn aside to look in the world, he says this for the equipment and the supplies. Yes, I know it's for that. It's for the travel. But it's not the only reason. I enjoy see Atreus have fun when we explore. And I want to listen to that boy. And Kratos do too. Kratos is corrupted, like for power, like normally happen, but in this game he's trying to be more than that, because he's not looking for vengeance this time, he's looking for redemption. That's not new. That good self is not from this God of War, it's for God of War 3, 2, 1. For example, in the end of God of War 3, they kill himself to finish the cycle. He represents the end of the games of the gods. But we know he have the past that haunt him. Sacrifice their family for the power of defeat their enemies, that was their mistake. And now, with this new family, he's trying to be best than before. But it's a problem. He don't know how to do it. He don't know how to be a good parent. And Atreus feels that. That family feeling focused narrative is strange to a video game. Yes, we have games related to this topic, but in AAA productions, feeling is more focused on a history with a person that can be yourself in a journey. And in Japan, we have games with the philosophy of a family and companionship related more to anime with these strange and exaggerated relationships. Yes, indie games have fulfilled this sentiment of family loss and changed our life much better. But indie games are in another scale because are more intimate and personal. And somehow in this production I feel close to these characters, like the cinematics, the conversation in the boat. You know, they talk to me and my relationship with my parents in an intimate manner. The sentiment of trying to be close to someone like a parent, of a son, and not knowing how, give me that emotional feeling that the game have soul. You don't try to tell a history about a great soldier in North America centralist fashion, or have a vague simplistic relationship with characters in the past when you are a hero. You're a father, a really bad one, but with the intention to be a good influence to their son. And when you fail and lose control of what the kid understands in the process of learning, you still try. You try him like a little person that needs to learn. It's not about to being a god. It's about to understand what is the meaning of responsibility. And at the end, confront your own past, no matter the insecurities you have, for the safety of Atreus. And look, I know. Kratos have a bad relationship like normal families do. What is the matter with that?
It's only a game.
Okay, listen. The communication is the principal problem of the situation, and both acknowledge that. That's the key. especially for Kratos. He don't know how to respond to her son. He's a veteran of war with a lot of issues, it's normal. And I think it's one of the principal topics around their relationship. He tries to raise a kid separating his past from him, and in consequence, he hides the real nature of both, damaging their relationship. And at some point around his life, he almost lost Atreus. And ultimately, he realized he needed to acknowledge his past to make both go further.
I'm a god, boy. From another land far from here. When I came to these shores, I chose to live as a man. But the truth is, I was born a god. And so were you.
He does the best he can, and when he reveals that past of him to their son, he doesn't make clear what is his point. That being a god is moral responsibility. That other things. For that reason, Atreus doesn't understand and start to believe he's above all things. And Kratos start to see in his son this arrogant nonsense too similar to Zeus, to himself. Start to train the kid with the scores and make him feel bad about what he does. I believe this type of communication with kids doesn't work. In consequence of that, Atreus killed Modi. And Kratos trying too hard to do something, but at the end, the kid never listened, because he don't have a reason, he's a god. But our past mistakes always haunt like a ghost. And when Atreus sees himself in Helheim, he rejects that past, that mark on her smile.
It wasn't me. I couldn't have done that.
Do not dwell on those thoughts. Not here.
But what means to be a family? Okay, let's click here. Blah, blah, blah. According to John Hittinger, the University of St. Thomas Houston, it's a better definition, I don't know. The family is said to be basic cell of a human society, the primary association of human beings. The mutual influence and inevitable tension of the family and the polis extend through the polis philosophy of Plato and Aristotle. Okay, this is... Okay, my point is, the family is the core of a person of a society. You need to value what is good, what is bad inside your family, because it's your primary source of information, of values. What is a value? What is the value of something? Like always, that's where it's not simple. For some, it's simply care for each other and be close. In other cases, it's to find a common interest. In others, it's just respect. But in this case, are chaos, jealousy, and violence. And I didn't expand this philosophy. That's the reason why when Magnir dies, Thor decides the best option is kick the ass of his own son. And well, we know what happened to him. And sometimes it's just failing communication over the place. Okay, what is the other part of a bad family? You know, we have Freya and Baldur to represent that very well. One, the mother break all Baldur's sensation for don't let him die. And he see this like a curse. And shape that sentiment in hate for their own mother. And he want to kill her in revenge. And Freya, despite knowing he's a psychopath for their own fault, she's even willing to die in his hands if that makes him happier. That's it. That toxic mentality has been cultivated from the inside of the family, and no matter what nothing they can do be remotely similar to a lust or a betrayal. With that in mind, you understand why Baldur rejects the last opportunity you give him, and you kill him. And Freya curses you and claims revenge. She doesn't see her son like a monster, she blames Odin.
But Odin's madness, his tyranny, his corruption of her magics, it became more than she could stomach, and at long last she broke it off. Odin's wrath was fierce, and his curses upon her were more than she dared to fear.
And you are a Baldur. You were a Baldur. And you know that. With that in mind, you do step further, revealing that you killed your own father, carry for similar feelings. But you tell this in a manner who implies that you are better. You acknowledge your past self with maturity, more like a person than anyone in this realm.
I made a deal with the god that cost me my soul. I killed many who were deserving. And many who were not. I killed my father.
That was your father in hell. Is this what it is to be a god? Is this how it always ends? Sons killing their mothers? Their fathers?
No. We will be the gods we choose to be. Not those who have been. Who I was is not who you will be. We must be better.
I don't know how to end the video, but I'm happy that in AAA industry you can sometimes still make the game you like to make. And we have still a lot of people with great ideas. And sometimes they can do whatever they want to do. And yes, I know, the Half-Life title is bait. I don't know, I don't care. Goodbye!